Oh, 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 I'm not gonna rant about today's fairy tale chapter. Not even gonna bother. Be honest with you. One of the things I'm gonna start off with this video with, because I want to talk about something that I kind of liked about this chapter. While yeah, we'll get into everything about it. I just want to say I am actually really happy that seemingly Gray got the final blow in, because even though it was more appropriate, if anything, for Natsu to do it because of the promise that he made with Igneal, blah blah blah. Gray for the win. This arc has just been doing a great job with Gray. If anything else, you know, it's had its blunders left and right, Erza versus Kyoko, all the other shit, but Gray, motherfucking full buster. B shit right there, and I'm so glad he was the one that got it. I'm glad it felt right, and it felt at the same time like his father's magic and everything that he's been through amounted to something great. So the way that went down, that was the best, bar none, part of this chapter. But let's go. So Natsu and Gray surviving thanks to Gray's magic. That was pretty, you know, legit, in all honesty. It wasn't bullshit right there. I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of shows that how were you able to, you know, think, for Mark Geer in particular, that this magic curse that you were going to use would be able to defeat Zeroth, if magic, or a curse basically, from Silver was enough to kind of stop Gray and Natsu from getting killed. But, you know, Zeroth, I'm sure, is far leaps and bounds above what ultimately Silver could have done, and any curse Silver could have conjured. I mean, let's be real here, it's fucking Zeroth. So the fact that he kind of thought that makes me think Mark Geer really underestimates him. Or it could have been, again, the fact that if you think back to last chapter, he did say, with END and this curse, I'll be able to defeat him. So maybe it's not 100% perfection without END. It just seemed great with that half demonic shit. Look good. It's after that bit where it starts to feel as though it's starting to fall apart yet again with Natsu and the friendship power up. Friends! 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 Everybody needs a friend. Where Natsu, even though prior to Gray joining up with him, couldn't do really anything to Mark Geer. Mark Geer was smirking and laughing at him. All of a sudden, he gets this Dragon Force, which I believe up until now we haven't seen Natsu purposely go Dragon Force without eating something. I might be wrong on that, so yeah, that's not 100% that I'm adding into any of this. I'm just saying he goes Dragon Force, and all of a sudden now he can just beat the fuck out of Mark Geer. He's just whipping Mark Geer up and down, left and right. It's like Frieza when he was fucking up Goku prior to him becoming Super Saiyan. It was just on some whole other shit, and I'm like, you couldn't do this before Gray joined up. What changed? Like, it's like, oh, I have this magic and this and that. So that just felt straight up like bullshit. Let's be honest here. Let's be clear. Like, him coming and just beating the fuck out of him, whatever. That was dumb. It shouldn't have happened. Because before Mark Geer even powered up, as a matter of fact, he was laughing and landing in his chair, like, chilling and everything. The fact that he's even more powered up, Natsu shouldn't be doing anything to him. But I will say that he wasn't completely out the game, because I'm being very fair with this one. He wasn't completely out the game, and he was like, it's going to take more than that. And it was ultimately that he was able to fuck him up, which still he shouldn't have been able to land a blow or whatever. But he used himself as a distraction, so the real motherfucker, the real partner in town, Gray, can deliver a shot. So it's kind of like, what, I don't know how to feel yet again with this chapter, because it's good shit that Gray was the one that ultimately did it, and the Devil Slayer magic, it all makes a lot more sense like that. But why the fuck was Natsu able to do anything yet again against Mark Geer? Why? Why? Just a side note, nobody wants to see that Erza shit anymore with the blackened eyes. Please stop showing that panel. It's giving me nightmares. But we also got a little piece of progression as well, with the clock counting down back to 0. So we're back to where we were prior to this fight beginning. Back to when, you know, Erza versus Kyoko finished. And ultimately this chapter, it was kind of like, the whole thing with Natsu beating his ass was, once again, bullshit. It was straight up bullshit. Mark Geer was owning his ass before the power-up, and even stronger than that, Natsu shouldn't have been able to land a single blow or anything. So that was all horseshit. The stuff that was good about it, ultimately, was it made sense that Gray was able to protect him and Natsu using the magic, the Devil Slayer magic, to an extent, because still, this curse shit was supposed to be able to go up against Zeroth, but Silver's magic that he gave to his son ultimately could deflect it or whatever. But still, that was fine. And the fact that Gray's Devil Slayer magic was the bullseye was very good stuff as well, amounting everything what Gray did. But everything with Natsu was just bullshit yet again. Like, I don't know why Hiro constantly does that. Like, we didn't even need Natsu, really, for majority of this stuff, because it was mainly like, I think Gray had it handled for the most part. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far with that one, but I think Gray had it. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of just felt like means to an end with using Natsu yet again, beating up Mark Geer. So I'm guessing maybe I give this like a 5 to a 6. Maybe it's like average to fine or something. Like, I was thinking bad. I was thinking I was going to give it a 4. But the stuff with Gray and progressing back to the countdown of 0 where all magic is going to go out the window in a second, which, by the way, probably Lumen Histore is going to be put into effect right about now. Ultimately, I do got to say that the stuff with Gray definitely counteracted some of the bullshit with Natsu. It's still horseshit. Like, he shouldn't have been able to do nothing with Mark Geer, but Gray stuff was alright. So, between a 5 and a 6, I guess. I don't know. Something like... I guess I feel... it's fine in the end. Like, if you read this chapter once, maybe even twice, you're probably gonna say this is fucking horseshit. And I don't blame you. But if you really look at it and you pay attention closely, it's like, yeah, the shit with Natsu was garbage, but in the end, he was just a fucking, basically a bullseye, so that ultimately Gray can get Mark Geer off guard. So, in that aspect, alright, it's fine. If we didn't have Natsu in this, though, and it was just like Gray or Natsu wasn't giving Mark Geer the fucking, you know, run and like beating the fuck out of him, I probably would have even given this a great. If it was just that Natsu was like, alright, great, you charge up, I'm going to quickly, you know, stall him, and Natsu's getting fucked up, and then Gray comes. That would have been great! I just got chills thinking about that! But the way Natsu kicking his ass, and then, just out of magic. Let me know what you thought of this chapter, though. What did you think about the Natsu beating Mark Geer? Did it make any logical sense as to how he was kicking his ass for a while? Also, what do you think about that sick shit with Gray? Again, I'm not saying that this was a horrible chapter or anything, because there were bits to the chapter where I was kind of like, Gray for the motherfucking win. The magic makes sense with a lot of things he was doing. It's just not super. Hey, overall thoughts. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.